All right, but today is Tuesday, November 6th. It is the second trade of my small account challenge. And how much was I able to make today, ladies and gentlemen? Not too much, not game changing, not changing the whole entire world, but I was able to make $72 today. $72 on SRNE. Now, how was I able to make 72 bucks on SRNE? And first things first, as always, before I dive into this, I just want to make sure you guys are seeing my P&L, right from etrade.com right here. And you guys can see my P&L. That was actually from yesterday. So again, this is from date from 11-5 to 11-6. Total so far on my small account challenge, 11-5 was the first day I started trading my small account challenge. I'm up 204 bucks. Up 204 bucks on the last 2 days on a $3,500 account. And we just want to focus on today. Boom, $72. So SRNE, I got in at this play 370, got out at 395, made a total of $72 on this play. Not too shabby. I'll take it. Now, again, why was I only able to buy 300 shares? I wasn't able to buy too many shares on this play. Just simply enough because I traded yesterday. And since I traded yesterday, I only had limited funds today. And when I'm already on only a $3,500 account, yesterday I bought, I think, 1,100 shares. I only had enough to buy 300 shares. So my account did get a little separated on the fact that I have like a little bit of a bigger half settled on one day and a little bit of a smaller half settled on another day, which isn't a bad thing because now I'm kind of trading every single day, which I know you guys enjoy. But until it gets a little bit bigger, I'm going to have smaller shares. So sometimes it's good to kind of keep it all on one day so you can be able to buy big enough shares. But hey, profit's profit. This is my second trade, second day in a row on my small account challenge. Basically, the first day of the small account challenge on my first trade was November 5th. So November 6th, in the last 2 days, I'm up 200 bucks. So I'm progressively growing. And guess what? As my account grows, as I lock in these small gains, I'm going to be able to buy more shares, and that's going to be able to lead to more profit. So, my first couple trades, I have no problem locking in 100 bucks. I have no problem locking in 200 bucks. I have no problem, locking in 300 bucks. I lock in 300 bucks on a trade on a small account. I'm happy with that. Very happy with that. What did I talk about? I talked about being realistic as a trader. We all have fantasies as a trader, right? Before I started this lesson, what was I saying? I was saying, hey, when I first started trading, I used to dream about like being on CNBC. I used to dream about getting interviews on TV and them saying, Sean Dekmar, you have never lost a trade. You're one of the only day traders in the world to never lose. 100% success rate. And then what happened? On my very first trade ever, I lost. And it's like, oh, that went out the window real quick. And I know sometimes you have expectations of what? Oh, I'm going to open up a $2,000 account, and within like 2 weeks, I'm going to be driving Ferraris, traveling the world, paying for all my, all my debt off. Now, can you get to that mark? Absolutely, you can get to that mark, but it's probably not going to happen your first, year. It's probably not going to happen your first few months of trading, right? It takes time to develop as a trader. It takes time to save up that money. But again, you guys can make tons and tons of money that could lead to financial freedom in the stock market, but you got to be real as a trader. And why do I say that? I say that because right now I'm up 200 bucks in the last 2 days. I'm averaging $100 a day. Now, if I was on my larger account, that wouldn't be very good for me. Obviously money's money, profit's profit, but I'm usually making a lot more profit than that. If I'm only making, 76 bucks, and trying to do this full time, it's not really going to be too realistic right there, or I'm going to be, living a little bit on a lower scale than, what I would want to be at. But on a small account, trading with $3,500, you have to say to yourself, hey, if I'm averaging $100 a day, that's not too shabby, right? Now we're only 2 days in, of course, but these gains are going to add up. And I know sometimes when you're surrounded in the stock trading world and people are throwing out big profits, I made this, I made that, I made 1,000, I made 2,000, and you're like, oh, I only locked in 99 or 100 bucks or only 200 bucks. Sometimes it feels like a disappointment. I've had people like come upset to me, upset that they're like, oh, I only made $400 on like a giant breakout. And it's like, you only made $400? You only made $200? You only made, it's like you did that sitting most likely in the comfort of your home or, at a computer right now. Me personally, like I'm in my pajamas and I'm making, that sort of money, like 200 bucks or even 79 bucks, right? And with that being said, you have to stay grounded. You have to stay humble with yourself. You have to, kind of, I always like to kind of take a step back a lot of times, especially when I'm trading my bigger account. When I'm trading my bigger account and I lock in maybe only 200 bucks, sometimes traders see that as a disappointment. What do you have to do? What have you done to make that $200? You literally just clicked a button on your mouse, right? You clicked a button on your mouse and you just, got paid. Because you studied and you put in some work, but and you probably did that within a matter of 5 minutes, right? And it's a great thing. And I used to think about, all the other, horrible jobs that I had. Worked as a snow tube pusher, sitting on top of freezing mountain in January, just pushing people down a mountain, right? I worked at a fat camp, or an overweight camp, during summer sometimes. And that wasn't very fun. And I'd work, 10 hours. I'd work 10 hours, make $8 an hour in the brutal winters or in a very hot summer. And then after taxes, I was making like 70 bucks. Right here, I just made 72 bucks in the matter of a few minutes. Is it going to change my life? No. But I'm also very happy, very positive with that small gain because it's still so amazing to me that the stock market is able to give me that freedom, that the stock market has allowed me to do that. Instead of me being outside in January from 10 in the morning to let's say 10 at night to just make $80, I'm able to do that sitting at home in the matter of a few minutes. Waking up, rolling over to my computer, and clicking one little thing. So it doesn't matter again how much money you make. Profit's profit, and being able to do it from online on the internet at your home. With being your own boss, every single profit to me is a happy profit. But I know there's so many ways to turn things into kind of a negative aspect on, oh, that guy made more than me. Oh, I could have held longer. And oh, I could have did this, I could have did that. Don't live in a what if world, guys. Because if you live in a what if world, you're just going to be very negative on yourself, and you're just never going to really see the brighter things. You could say that not only about stock trading, about anything when you really think about it. It's like, oh, what if, what if I played this guy in fantasy football, right? Oh, what if I asked this girl out before he did? Oh, what if I stopped at that stop sign and didn't get pulled over? What if I did this? What if just throwing a whole bunch of different scenarios. You could say what if about every single thing in your life, and you could just turn it into a negative if you wanted to. But that's not fun. That's what that's not what we did. We make certain decisions and we go from there. Always again look at the brighter things and always compare. Look what I have compared to what I didn't. So I'm happy with this small gain to just be able to continue grow my account. Second day of the challenge and be able to average $100 each. So as I said, as always, I want to show you guys my P&L, but let's actually talk about the trade now, right? Let's actually talk about how I was able to make this money. So SRNE, this doesn't look very profitable, does it? No, it doesn't look very profitable right here. So when did I trade SRNE? I traded SRNE in pre-market. So let me actually turn on pre-market right here. Boom. And when we look at pre-market, and let me throw back in a 5-minute time frame, we see SRNE right here. Boom. So what happened with SRNE? Why did the stock go boom right here? Why did the stock take on off? Why did the stock have a nice 80-cent rip? It went from 340 all the way up to 425. Why did the stock go on this climb? And that is because it did have a very good press release. SRNE came out this morning with demonstrates significant therapeutic activity with increased overall survival in cancer patients with liver metastasis, right? Definitely said that last word wrong. All right, but you guys get it, right? So what we have is demonstrate significant, important, meeting in our patients, in our cancer patients. There's key words I'm going to teach you guys in our boot camp of words you want to look for. Significant is one of them. Significant, important, meaningful. Whenever we see the word increased, increase is great. Whenever you see the word cancer, cancer get a lot of eyes towards it. And especially when we're having overall survival, our increase in overall survival in our patients on meaningful, on a meaningful, on this drug that they're working on, that's great. And that's when SRNE started taking on off. SRNE went on this very nice climb, very nice rip. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to see a lot of plays hold on up lately, right? A lot of plays haven't been able to go on these nice big spikes and be able to hold their gains. A lot of these plays are going on, nice big spikes and then coming right back on down. So you guys can see from my P&L, SRNE, I got in at 370. A little bit late right here. I'm just going to put, this line represents where I got in. And then I got out when the stock actually came back down towards around 395. So didn't time it perfectly, all the way up at 425. but I got the bulk. I got the meat of the move. Um, I didn't get in perfect at 340 or 350. I didn't get out perfect at 420 or 425, but I got a nice little bulk from 370 up to 395. Now, with this being said, again, I only had 300 shares, right? I only had 300 shares right here. Now, if I usually had my normal what? My normal 1,000 shares, what could have happened? With this move right here, I would have been able to make $250 with 1,000 shares, which would have been very nice. But since I had 300 shares, I only had $72. And this is what I always say. Excuse me, guys. This is why I always say, try to get somewhere between 500 to 1,000 shares. Because you can be a great trader and you can nail, trade sometimes. But this is a 25-cent move. And I'm only making about, what, 73 bucks on it? So, I mean, it's not a bad trade by any means. I'm happy I was able to make this profit, but I wish I was able to buy more shares. But I wasn't able to buy more shares today because I traded yesterday. So I'm happy with it that I'm able to make money. I'm happy with it that it's green. I'm happy that, right here I was able to make that quick 73 bucks. But if you can, always try to stick with at least 500 to 1,000 shares, because 500 to 1,000 shares is going to bring you a lot more profit in a quicker amount of time. I had 1,000 shares here, which I wish I had, which I usually go with on small accounts. I would have made 250 bucks. But since I traded yesterday, I wasn't able to have those funds available. So SRNE, why did I buy into this play? Well, as we know, guys, it has a nice press release, right? Nice press release towards it. Cool. Why else did I buy into this play? I also bought in this play because it's starting to have a little bit of a squeeze between the 13 EMA and 50-day moving average. And, I was hoping for the break of the 50-day moving average because why? Because it has room to run all the way up towards around 615, which is the 200-day moving average, where this stock has, room to rip and run and could possibly go on a nice climb. On top of that, SRNE is lower on the RSI. Again, the stock fell from $8 all the way down to lows around 290 over the past, 8 months. The stock is more towards the oversold side than the overbought side. And if we're more towards oversold, we should be seeing more buyers and sellers. So what were my reasons behind SRNE? SRNE, great press release. SRNE, lower on the RSI. SRNE, a nice squeeze pattern between 13 EMA and 50-day moving average. And then SRNE, room to run up towards around the 200-day moving average, which is above $6. Why did I get in as well? Because this press release came out at 8 o'clock. I was awake. I was ready for it. And I was excited to see if SRNE was going to start getting some nice activity. So, SRNE, since the stock was starting to move up right here. Once the stock, came out with this press release, I wanted to hop in case this thing ever did go on a breakout. Even if volume didn't come through, I would still be, getting in on this play simply enough, just because I think it's, a nice solid play, and I think it's a nice solid press release. But yep, that was my only trade from today. You can see from 11-6, even from 11-5 to 11-6, small account challenge, currently up $204. So I'm happy on where I'm at, as I already stated, and just looking to be able to continue out with this, be able to continue out. Now, something else that came up, and I talked about this earlier as well, is someone logged on at around like 9:15. Logged on at around 9:15, and we talked about a little bit my SRNE trade, and they said, Dek, what the heck? You traded at 8 o'clock this morning? Yes. Why didn't you wait for me? Why didn't you, why I thought, why didn't you wait until, the bell? And I was like, what? This is the small account challenge, right? I'm going to take my shots when I see them. The stock market, I can trade from 7 in the morning till 6 at night. It's not like there's just going to be, okay, I'm only going to trade from 9 in the morning or 9:30 to 10 o'clock, right? If a hot press release comes out and I'm ready for it, I'm going to hop in on it. If a breakout comes and we see a squeeze pattern, guess what? I'm going to hop in on it. If we start seeing big time volume and the stock starts ripping on up and I think there's a lot more area for this stock to run, I'm going to hop in on it. And that doesn't matter if it's at 7 in the morning. It doesn't matter if it's at 9:30. It doesn't matter if it's at 11. It doesn't matter if it's at 3. If it doesn't matter if it's at 4. It doesn't matter if it's at 6. You guys have to be ready, of course. And again, Wall Street does not care personally about you. Again, don't worry about that either. They don't care about me either. Like, Wall Street does not care about you. Wall Street does not care about me. Wall Street doesn't care about anything. These companies don't care, right? they're going to put out a hot press release when they put out a hot press release. It's not like, oh, SRNE, I like the press release, but can you please just wait until 9:30 to put that out? I mean, I'm trying to sleep. Last night was a long night. I was watching the game. The Jets have been so brutal. I couldn't even sleep last night. It's like they don't care. They're going to put out a press release when they want to put out a press release. And it's up to you if you want to sacrifice sleep and wake up and be ready for it. Why am I here every single morning at 7:15 every single day? Because I want to have the scanners up and I want to be ready for any sort of press release that drops. Why do I leave the scanners up till 6 o'clock every single night? Because again, press releases come out in after hours, and if anything comes out, I want to be ready. And why am I here, commentating for 5 hours a day? Because if anything comes on out, I want to be ready. I understand not everyone can be here nonstop throughout, the whole entire day. Not everyone has, the luxury of being a full-time trader. People are going to be part-time traders. But with that being said, I know even the people that are part-time traders may not have to go to work till 9:30, 10 o'clock, which means you can wake up at 7 in the morning and be watching chat. You guys can be keeping your eyes on the news streamer. Even again, if you guys get to work, you guys can open up your computer and turn on the news streamer. If you guys are just, let's say, not or a full-time trader and you just want to sleep in until 9:30, that's on you. Sacrifice sleep for success, right? Sleep is great. I love sleep. It's awesome. But with that being said, I'm not productive when I sleep. It feels great, when you sleep. Sleep is probably one of my most favorite things in the world. I love to sleep. I love it. And maybe I think I love it because I get so limited amount of it. I'll hit my bed at around 12:30 at night every single night. I'll wake up around 7. And maybe 12:30 I start laying down, maybe fall asleep at like 1, and I wake up at 7, maybe get like 6 hours of sleep a night. And I love it so much. But at the same time, I wake up and I'm like, hey, let's make some money. If someone tapped you on your shoulder and said, hey, if you wake up, right now, I'll give you $80, sure, I'll hop out of bed. What do I got to do? Oh, nothing. You just got to sit on that chair right there and I'll give you $80. Awesome. And sometimes, you're going to get tapped on the shoulder and you're going to say, hey, all you got to do is sit in that chair right there. And guess what? I'll give you $1,000. Guess what I'm doing? I'm going to get out of my bed and sit on this chair. That's all I'm doing. I'm sitting on this chair and I'm just watching hot news. The moment hot news comes down, I'm going to press buy. I'm going to get in and I'm going to make some money. But, it comes down to you. The small account challenge, I'm going to be buying in pre-market. I'm going to be buying in market hours. I'm going to be buying in after hours. Whenever I see an opportunity, that's what I'm going after. That's what I'm going to be taking these trades. So again, I want you to be successful. I want you to be able to grow your accounts. But at the same time, whenever the market gives us an opportunity, that's what I'm going to take it. Whatever I see predictable, that's what I'm going to go after. But it's been a solid start so far. We definitely want to see if the market's going to pick up a little bit because it has been just a little bit slower. But with that being said, elections end today, and we're probably going to start seeing volume start moving in on a lot of these plays tomorrow. So I'm pretty pumped about that. So let's see what we have. For the rest of the day, elections. Tomorrow will be all good. That'll be over with, and we'll start seeing a lot more hype. Start seeing a lot more volume move on through. So awesome job today. Let's keep up that great momentum, and let's see what the rest of this week has in store. Yep. So and most likely after the elections is when things are going to get a little bit wild. All right, cool. Now I do want to go into a lesson, our boot camp lessons. Let me actually just bring up a few different things right here. So give me let's take another like 2-minute breather. 2-minute breather. I'm going to take the mic off for about 2 to 3 minutes. I just want to set up this lesson and we'll be all set, ready to rock and roll. Does that sound good with everyone? So let me set up this lesson and, we're going to be talking about a few very important key things that about support and resistance. I actually want to type out a few things. So mic's coming off for just a few moments and then we're going to set up our lesson and go after it. After our lesson, I'll go over any questions you guys have. All right, it's just important to me that we get our lesson done first. So if you guys have any questions about the recap or any questions about the trade or anything like that, save it until after we're done for the lesson. And then even after the lesson, if you have any other questions, you can ask those as well. So let's take another like 2-minute break, get ready for our lesson, and we'll dive into that for about the next 20 minutes or so. Awesome job.